Good evening and welcome to the January 16th, 2019 regularly scheduled East Long Meadow Board of Library Trustees meeting. I am now asking for a roll call, and if Michael, you would start.
I'm Michael Gray.
Layla Johnston.
Diane Tiago.
David Boucher.
Cindy McNaught.
This meeting is being both video and audio taped for future broadcast on LCAP. So at this point in time, I'm going to call this meeting officially into order. So, okay. We are going to start with the meeting minutes. The minutes of the December 19th, 2018 meeting. Can you believe it? 2019, 2018.
Oh, no, that is right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but I just can't believe we've moved on
It takes
to
me a couple
another year.
months.
I know. So anyway, everybody's had an opportunity to read the minutes
Yes.
prior to coming.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I would appreciate
I'll make a motion.
motion, I'm so sorry, motion to accept the minutes.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes from December 19th, 2018 as written.
And I will second that motion.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We do not have any guests here. So we're going to move on to number 4, which is the director's reports.
Thank you. So under building maintenance, the lights at the circulation desk and above the giving wall were all replaced in December, just in time for the darker months. So thank you to DPW for taking care of that. And under public services, now would be a good time to just start thinking about the trustees annual book award that we give, that the board has given annually to a high school junior. If the board decides to participate this year, I would request your donations at the February and March meetings. The award is presented to a high school junior that has demonstrated an interest in libraries. The Children's Department coordinated giving tree donations for families in transition at the shelter New Beginnings in Holyoke. The library collected over 150 gifts throughout the month of December and a large number of toiletries to be given to families in need. Toiletries were requested by the shelter for the first time this year, and they were very appreciative of our patrons' generosity in providing these much-needed supplies. We're also continuing our efforts to work cooperatively with other town departments, and we have invited both the police and fire and selected schools to read at one of our story times or to discuss their profession with children ages 3 to 8 at the library. Special story times featuring guest speakers will be held February 12th, March 5th, April 2nd, and May 7th, and those all start at 6:30 p.m. We hosted our annual Teen Study Night for East Long Meadow juniors and seniors on 2 nights this year. We opened the library to teens to allow them to study for exams on Sunday, January 13th from 6:30 to 10, and on Monday, I forgot the date there, Monday, January 14th, correction there, from 8 to 10 p.m. Thank you to the Friends of the East Long Meadow Public Library for providing refreshments. The library's annual Great Decisions program will begin on Tuesday, February 5th at 6 p.m. They will meet on Tuesdays twice a month through March, April, and May. Upcoming topics include refugees and global migration, the rise of populism in Europe, decoding U.S.-China trade, state of the State Department, and U.S. diplomacy. Patrons interested in participating can pick up booklets on the discussion topics at the circulation desk. Funding for this program is made possible by the Anastasia N. Manitsis Memorial Speaker Fund. Her family gave a generous donation to the library to help support lectures and workshops for adults interested in continuing their education.
Nice.
We're very appreciative. She herself was very active on the East Long Meadow Board of Library Trustees many, many years ago, and she was also very active with the West Springfield library after she moved there, after living in East Long Meadow.
Oh.
So we're very thankful for that.
I went to this last year and it was great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna come this year.
Try it.
Great.
Great.
And last but not least, our area's legislative breakfast is scheduled for Friday, February 8th at 8 a.m. at the Stores Library in Long Meadow. If you do plan to attend, please RSVP to the Stores Library. A flyer with contact information is included in your packets. And that's just an annual event that we have in this area so that we can promote the library to our legislators, let them know that library supporters vote, and we take our patron services very seriously. So I've attended a couple. I know Diane has attended several.
Oh,
I'm sure others of you have attended them as well, and they are very brief. They try to make very good use of your time and also very important.
Yeah, I agree.
And so then, after the vote, I'll move on to the financial report.
All right. Do I have a motion to accept Layla's narrative written
Oh,
report?
sure, I'll make a motion to accept Layla's wonderful
Report?
director's report.
Okay, Cindy, thanks. And is there a second?
I'd be happy to second again.
All right, Michael. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Financial report.
Financial, not a whole lot has changed because it's only been 3 weeks
That's right.
since our last meeting. But again, feel free to take a look at the accounts. Please ask me any questions you might have. We're right on track in terms of where expenditures should
Yeah,
be
'cause
at this point.
That happens.
Yeah, we're in good shape.
That's always good to hear.
Yes.
We're fortunate that way. All right. Moving on to new business, number 5.
So
Yeah.
I included the library's current collection development policy just so we could make a few updates based on some other work that we've all done together. The first update would just be to simply strike the previous mission statement and replace it with our mission statement that was created as part of our strategic plan.
Okay.
So that's all that this means here with the strike through, and then this would be the replacement. And then if you turn the page, because we did put together a separate gift and donation policy, I would recommend that we just strike this highlighted
Yeah.
portion here. If everybody agrees, I would then simply, on the where did it go here? Under access to collection materials, that page heading here, I would just say then amended by the Board of Library Trustees, January 2019. And feel free to have discussion on that if
Yeah.
you feel that we need to.
Is there any discussion on it? I know that you've had an opportunity to once again read the document prior to this meeting. So is there any questions, comments, or?
No, I thought things were pretty much still
Yeah.
relevant as it was written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, we don't need the gift policy
Right.
duplicated, and that would just be redundant, and we need to follow the mission statement, so that, of course, I think should go.
No, I was very pleased,
Great.
Layla, to
Yeah.
have you pick up on it
Right.
and bring it to our attention.
Before we had to think about it.
yeah. we don't want to think
Well,
too hard.
it's kind of like expanding the summer hours.
Yes.
It's going to be
Yes.
little places here and there. I'm probably still going to come across a few here and there that
will
say that,
that
closed during
Saturdays.
Saturdays, June, July, and August. We'll just bring it back, update it, and,
Yes.
and keep those current.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, I guess we need to do a vote to accept the collection development policy with
The amendments.
The new amendments.
Yeah.
So, do I have a motion?
Oh, yes, I will motion to accept the collection development policy as amended, and state that the date will now be January of 2019.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I looked at other collection development statements, and, you know, it follows pretty much in line.
Yeah,
Basically.
and what Layla has done is taken word for word from our strategic plan
Right,
and just
plugged it in.
put it right where it belongs.
Yeah.
Right where it belongs. So I really do appreciate her efforts. And bringing it to our attention. I would have never picked up on it. Number 6 is old business. Is there any old business that anybody, something that you'd like to share, discuss, question? No? Yeah. Yes? Michael?
Things are running smooth at the library.
Oh, it sounds great. That's the way we like it. No, it's I haven't heard anything negative.
Yeah.
Out in the community or from the community. So I'd say, great. So let's go on to, you know what, I think no, you've already discussed the legislative breakfast. The only thing I wanted to add to that was that I'm definitely going to be going. And if anybody
I'll see if I
wants
can
to,
go too.
yeah,
I may
wants
be
to
going.
join me, that's fine. If we could meet in the parking lot here or just meet right there, whatever your pleasure is. But it's something
Sometimes
that
parking's a little problem there, but
yeah, I know it's
So
a,
it might be better
yeah.
to carpool.
So that's why I thought I'd toss that out there.
Yeah.
And I do like going to these because
Yeah.
you can really do face to face questions. You know, you're finally they can see people in the audience who are
And-
really concerned.
yeah, and the way it's presented puts such a positive spin on what the library is doing.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to tell our story, and we haven't been the best at telling it very well. And I think that's one way we can actually tell our story in a way that they could understand
Yeah.
and hopefully become advocates.
Yeah, and Layla probably can expand a little bit on this one, and that is, you know, we're here in East Long Meadow, and we're very fortunate to have the computer access and so forth. We forget there's still more Western Massachusetts, and the library.
That's a great point. And in fact, I was at a director meeting last month that brought up there are still 48 towns in Western Massachusetts that do not have any internet access at all, let alone
That's the same.
the high-speed broadband that we enjoy here. So that's something that's not going to be, and in those situations, sometimes the library is the only place that has access to any internet at all. So that's a great example, Diane, of the way that the library really impacts people's day-to-day life, particularly if you can't do anything anymore without going online, it seems. So until those towns are connected in one way or another, you know, the library is going to be the place that people need to go.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Don't you find it's amazing how many people are using our internet access in our computers?
Oh yeah. In fact, I'm working on a draft of our annual report for everybody, which I'll send out probably either later this week or early next week for everybody to review. And we've got in there how many wireless internet sessions. We talked about the hotspots last meeting, how many times the public computers are used. Again, because times have changed a little bit. It's not just books anymore, right? But it's all access to information that everybody needs. Yes.
So it continues to be used quite a lot.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You haven't noticed a drop off?
No.
Interesting.
Okay, so that was just the only thing.
And they give you food. They do serve breakfast at the legislative
Yeah,
breakfast.
they do
so-
serve
your food.
breakfast. They actually do have breakfast.
Danish
they do.
Danishy.
and fruit.
But yeah, all the, if you do decide to go, The RSVP information is right here. It tells you which senators will be here.
Okay.
Will be there.
Did you do this flyer?
I did not.
Did they
This was
send
done
it to
by either Jean or Sharon.
Oh, okay.
But we're fortunate in this area that Senator Lesser is a library user.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't just support the library. He also his family
I think Jim
uses the
Walsh
Long
does,
Meadow Library.
too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're very fortunate that we can have somebody who's aware somewhat, but it still helps to show that we show up and we vote.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, and if we don't support it, why should they?
So true. Well, so that's, I'm glad we had this discussion. So, it's on to the Friends of the Library. Melanie's not here, and she's our liaison, and I did not make the last meeting, but I do have information from it.
Okay.
So I'll just inform you as to what I do know. Their last meeting took place on Monday, January 7th, and they meet in this conference room. Due to the fact that the Springfield Museum is now no longer going to provide like a group
Right.
membership, the Friends voted last Monday that the funds they originally set aside to purchase the pass for the Springfield Museum, to transfer that over to purchase an additional pass to the Forest
Zoo at Forest Park.
Zoo at in Forest Park, because I guess that's pretty
It is.
popular. That's
That
very
is popular.
popular. So that will add, make it hopefully
That's great.
more enjoyable. So they did take a vote, and it was agreed upon unanimously at their meeting to do so. So I'm pleased that the Friends are continue to help this library out and the patrons out, so forth. So before the change takes place as far as the Springfield Museum pass, we still have a little bit of time left on that pass if anybody's interested in going to the Springfield Museum.
Do you know when it ends?
March. Is it March?
Well, I was going to say February 28th. So
Oh, there you go.
February
Perfect.
28th.
Yeah.
so effective March 1st. So that
That's
will.
sad.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is sad. It's sad for us,
Yeah.
but it's wonderful we have this museums in Springfield's quadrangle. We're very, again, I think we're very fortunate as to proximity to a lot of things,
Yeah, we are.
educational and so forth. So anyway, due to whatever decision the administrators or statistics or what have you, the administrators at the Springfield Museum, they decided it's not just for our library, I believe it's all members.
Correct.
So there are no free passes.
No free passes. Okay.
That's too bad.
Yeah. The other item I just wanted to share is that February, always in February,
The chocolate.
the annual chocolate sampling. It's kind of like a takeoff for Valentine's Day. Got to have something chocolate ready to go. And anyways, it will take place in the community room on Saturday, February 9th. And it runs from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
What was the date?
The 9th, February 9th. We always have repeat guests that come in. They count on that day, I tell you, One gentleman told me that this is how he picks up a rose roses for his wife and brings her here, and that's Happy Valentine's Day.
What a bargain.
What a deal!
That's
You
right,
know, if you're
that's
a
right.
member, there's no admission for that, but it's very a little admission if you're not a member of the Friends. It's very nominal, no big deal. So we hope you'll join us. It's always a nice afternoon. The only thing that we do, or I say we, the Friends do, it's always weather will have an impact. So if it's nasty out, there maybe the library's closed because of inclement weather, it won't take place, and it has to wait for the next year. We don't do it for another
Yeah, it's not.
day.
It's not
It's pretty hard to keep all that stuff fresh, you
Yeah,
know, and so
exactly.
forth.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
you
the
just
only-
have to eat it.
Yes. Well, we'll look real close, like Thursday to see what
But
the
I think it's
prediction
only going to
is.
snow in the south from now on.
Yeah, I know. Stay there. So that's all I have to share with you about the Friends news. And I just want to back up a little bit to the museum passes.
Sure.
The museum passes used to be the Friends. You had to be a member of the Friends, or it was like we called it a perk for joining the Friends. And what we felt was the right thing to do after some patrons were, upset and we learned about it, was to make the passes
Accessible.
gifts to the library so that everybody who walks in and wants to borrow a pass, and if it's available at that time, they can have the pass for a couple of days and return the pass so somebody else can enjoy the
And on the pass it should say, but it would be nice if you joined.
So my question to you is this, and it's directed to Layla, is I know I've looked at other libraries, and what they do is they list their museum passes like on their front page, and it tells you or tells the individual what they accept. Like, in other words, you must be 18 years of age in order to borrow it, and so forth. So I just was wondering what do we have, because I haven't looked on
So it's
our
on the website.
It's on our website.
It's on the website under the FAQs, where if you go to the FAQ section, which is exactly where it was on the previous version of the website.
Okay.
So anybody who's familiar with the old layout, we have a new layout, but if you go to the FAQs, it'll say, how do I borrow a museum pass? You click on that, it gives you the answer to your question. And it's also under the section that says borrowing, and then it'll say loan limits, and it's included in that chart as well. So you know that you have the pass for 3 days, no renewals, and you have to bring it back.
Okay, great. So I will just make note of it on the Friends website as well.
Sure.
Where people can go to.
Yep, and we're happy to loan those. We're very, very thrilled that the Friends gave us the passes as a gift. All you need now is a valid CW Mars library card and be 18 or older.
Now on the website, does it tell what the pass is and what it does, like one free admission with
Yes.
an adult?
Yes,
It
it
tells
does.
that on the website. Great.
I'll just double check to make sure that the Friends page is aligns
Sure.
with the library.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to February 28th take down those
Yeah, I know.
Springfield passes. So that is unfortunate.
That
but
is unfortunate. That's
Yeah.
a popular pass.
Oh, yeah.
quite a few libraries around here are very disappointed. So
Yeah, I've used it several times. And it's expensive to go
Right.
without it.
right. So we'll see. Maybe enough people will contact the museums. Oh, pardon me. And the museums may change their mind or look further into it. Thank you very much.
Right.
Just depending, if
It
enough.
wasn't that long ago that the museums were free,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
you know, I think less than 20 years ago. Well, maybe it's 20 now, I don't know.
I don't know, time's flying.
Yes, it does go, doesn't it?
Whenever I found out it was 10 years since that plane landed.
Oh,
in
yeah, on the Hudson.
Oh,
You
wow,
know, I said
that's been 10 years
10
already?
years.
Yeah,
10-year
goodness.
anniversary.
It doesn't seem possible that that's been 10 years.
So back to business.
Yes.
So at this point in time, if there's nothing else we need to address, I'm just going to announce that our next meeting will take place on Wednesday, February 20th at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It will take place in this room as well. It never changes. So we welcome any visitor to come and join us, and you know, if they have a comment, a question,
concerns?
yeah, a concern, or you know, a suggestion how to make something better, we want to hear it. We want to know about it. So I'd appreciate a motion to adjourn,
I would make a motion to adjourn.
and I need a second.
I will second the motion to adjourn.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Very good.